All right, Angie, thank you very much for coming down today. It's the first time we're doing this face-to-face, so bear with me as we go and figure it out. What brings you to Melbourne?
I'm here for the Naksu Dynamite. Thank you for having me, by the way.
My pleasure.
Here for the Naksu Dynamite all-women's show in Melbourne, in North Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is the second time I've been here with the girls, and just really love to see Muay Thai and all-women's show.
Awesome. And I know from speaking to you, it's a bit hard to get you down on a plane and out to a different city. What brings that?
I have a little bit of a fear of flying. I don't know. Maybe it was after September 11th. Just seriously, just tripped me out. I used to love flying. I was like, yes, get to watch TV. You know, you get drink service on the plane, and then after that, just so many different things in my head that kind of messed me up a little bit. But I can get past it if I have to.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll get you down to Rebellion eventually.
Okay. I'll be there for sure.
Awesome. Now, for the people who don't know, and I'm sure everybody does, you're co-owner and trainer at Bunchu with your husband, Wayne Parr. You're a former fighter and a trainer and also a promoter.
Yes.
These days, what takes most of your time? Promoting, running the gym, or being a trainer?
Probably everything, because at the moment I have my kids fighting, so I'm the trainer of my kids, and then I got to make sure that they're training hard and going to the gym every day. I do have the promotion still that we do every couple months, and that does take a lot of time, but I kind of squeeze it all into, you know, like a 4-week marketing and matchmaking things. I push it together so I don't have to spread it out too long and take too much time.
Yeah.
Running the gym, you know, like I'm cleaning it, I'm teaching classes. If Wayne's away, I'm running the show. So I just try, if I don't have enough trainers, I'm holding pads. I'm just really busy all the time.
Yeah, awesome. You guys have a few different shows. It's not just CMT, there's a couple of other shows as well. The John Wayne.
Yeah, so we have, when I moved to Australia 16 years ago, we started like the smokers. I think we were talking about this, American smokers, where people rock up, weigh in, and then you match make them at the weigh-ins and they fight. Well, it just got too like kind of crowded, so we started pre-matching fighters. So we have a lot of amateurs that start on our shows. Like, oh man, there's so many. Tomahawk, he had his first fight ever on my show. Sam Brown. Thor and Flip was also fought on my show, because I'll have like a pro fight at the end, so it's kind of like a bonus for coming to the amateur shows. I fought on my shows, my daughter, my son, and so I do those, as well as we do Nick Atkins. He runs a 10-week course at the gym, so we have wannabe kickboxer fight nights.
Is that like a corporate thing, or just anyone does it?
No, it's not corporate. It's just anyone, and we match make like professional fighters, and the WBC sanctions that one. Oh, nice. And then also we've changed the name to Infliction now, and then we have CMT as well. So we have 3 different shows that we run a year. Yeah. And yeah.
Awesome. Now, I think we were speaking before, you started training Muay Thai at 17.
Yeah.
What was 16-year-old Angie like? What was she doing?
16-year-old Angie was a bad girl. I just, I was constantly in trouble, and I was partying and going out, and then I would get into like street confrontations, and I just thought it was something I needed to get myself into self-defense or learn a martial art. And I always wanted to as a kid, but as my parents like had 5 kids, they couldn't afford like karate classes, so I only did like you know, sports like softball, recreational, community sports, whereas I couldn't afford it. So when I was 17, there was a university class for physical education self-defense, and I took that for actually PE credit for high school, and the trainer taught fighters, so awesome. I did that, and as soon as I saw a female fight, I was like, that's what I want to do. And I was in beauty school, I was in high school, and I was training Muay Thai, and I just had to drop out of beauty school because I love Muay Thai so much. And I went to university for about 2 years, but then I was falling asleep in classes and stuff, and I was just like, I just better off fighting. Yeah.
So you started off right off in Muay Thai as like your first fight experience training was Muay Thai?
Yeah, well, I fought mod Muay Thai.
That's not really. We'll get back to it. It's been an ongoing thread on Facebook recently about. And so you started at 17, and what's the scene like Muay Thai scene? You were in the States. What was the scene like then? Like, was there regular fights? What was the level of competition? What was the rule set? What was the style?
So in California, there was a lot of smokers down in Southern California. So you could go to one gym and they have a tournament in that show. They'd have a tournament in their gym. I think the first fight, I was leaving beauty school, and they're like, "Let's go to a smoker, and we'll get you weighed in." I was like, "I'm starving," and they're like, "Well, we'll get you a burrito." So I had like a burrito, and then I went to the venue, and I was like, "Okay, I'll weigh in," and I was I think I was like 116, no, I was 114 pounds. And the only girl that weighed in that was close to my weight was my trainer's girlfriend, who's 116 pounds. They're like, all right, pretend you're from a different gym and you fight the girlfriend. And so her name was Denise, and we ended up fighting, and she beat me. But one Thai guy came up to me and he said, "You're going to be good one day." And I kept with it.
Yeah. So was there a lot of Thai trainers and stuff in America at that stage?
Yeah. There was a Thai promoter who I fought for, and I can't remember the association because it was like 21 years ago. But he had Muay Thai fights, and like I won my first bout with him, Kruvut. And then there was Master Toddy in Las Vegas. So when I was fighting in Southern California, I actually traveled to Vegas and fought Master Toddy's girls.
Oh, wow.
And then when I decided to leave my coach in California, I moved to Vegas to train with Thai people and live in a Muay Thai camp in Vegas.
So was Master Toddy running, because like most people in Muay Thai would know Master Toddy, and I guess maybe it's a different thing now than what he used to run back there. Was he more of a promoter? Was he actually a trainer and was like training everyone? Is that...
So he was a promoter as well as a trainer, but when I came to see him, I just drove because I wanted to see his gym. I wanted to talk to him and say what my goals were, and I just said, I would like to come train in your gym. And he said, "That's great. I'm building a camp in my house." And I was like, "Okay, when can I move in?" He's like, "Anytime you want." So I think I fought January and moved in March 1st, and then I moved in and there was no camp built. Right. And he's like, "I bought you a camper. You can sleep in the camper."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll sleep in the camper." In Las Vegas, summer, I was sweating like a pig. It was like, and I was a vegetarian at the time, and I was trying to make my own food in the little camper, and I was hopeless. And he took me in and he'd be like, "Come have dinner with us." And I got to, he had like 3 trainers living with him and his wife, and so I got to come in and eat dinner with them. And then I just stayed there for a few months, and then he was like, "Okay, gym's built now, let's get students there." So I helped him sell memberships for like people to live in the camp for a month.
Oh, wow.
So like, say you pay $500 and you can live there for 4 weeks and train twice a day, and yeah.
How many times did you fight under Master Toddy?
I think when I moved to Master Toddy, I had 15 fights, and then I had 15 fights with Master Toddy, and then I had the last 17 fights with Wayne.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you met Wayne at Master Toddy's?
Yes.
So what did you think the first time you saw him?
I don't know. I thought he was cute and stuff, but I really couldn't understand him because he talks really fast, and he's got a thick Aussie accent. And I just hung out with him all day, and he was just like so excited, and yeah, it was really cool. I met him Sunday night. We hung out and ate together and trained together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Friday, we went out together and we hooked up, and the rest is history.
And you fought at the IFMA World Championships. You won the US's first gold medal.
Yes.
What year was that?
That was in 2001. That was before I met Wayne in 2002.
Right.
I was training with Master Toddy, and he helped me get sponsorship. And one of my Thai trainers that actually trained me at Master Toddy's moved back to Thailand. So when I went there, I got to go to Jockey Gym.
Oh, wow.
And I got to train with him. And then he worked my corner as well. And I didn't know that much Thai back then, and he didn't know that much English, but we synced perfectly. And I got really sick. They helped me. They would feed me the chicken broth. And I managed to win all my fights and win the gold medal for America.
Did you train at Jockey Gym as well?
I did like two or three sessions there. And it was so funny because like you'd have Thai trainers that'd be like, you go get me beer. And they would be drinking beer in between rounds on the pads.
Yeah.
It
Was
was hilarious.
Pippa there at the time?
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah.
We had Pippa stay with us for 3 months in Melbourne, and
He is a legend.
He's an absolute legend.
Legend
It was
of the sport.
Yeah, learned so much just hanging out with him. That's amazing. And then you go back to America, and then you move to Australia with Wayne, and you start fighting, and you had 17 fights here, like you said.
Yeah.
Who were the people you fought here in Australia? Was there any big Australian names?
Well, first person I fought was Tamika Ramson from Perth. I fought Leanne Branham. She's a referee, right?
Yeah,
Here in Victoria. I fought Nicole Brawlin.
Yeah, she's actually possibly making a comeback in
No
about
way.
5 weeks.
No way.
4 weeks and
That's
1
so
day.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a
Yeah.
match for her.
Yeah, not me. I fully retired. I retired 5 years ago.
Everyone comes back immediately.
No. When, I got to fight Jermaine Dirandami. I got to fight Julie Kitchen when I was with Wayne.
Oh, wow.
I fought one of the top boxers in Australia, Aaron McGowan. I had a little stint in MMA, which I didn't actually train jiu-jitsu. I just thought I can bang with the gloves on. It didn't turn out too well. So having my last fight on CMT was probably the ultimate finish for me because, you know, I always wanted to fight with the little gloves. And 3 rounds I fought Sandy Ferner. And yeah,
Sandy was from Jabba?
she's from Jabba.
Yeah.
I had a good run in the sport. Honestly, after I had Jasmine, she's 15 now, and then I had Jessie, I knew I was done after Jessie.
Yeah.
I retired, and then I had my third, Gemma.
Yeah. Out of all your fights, which one stands out as like the one you were most proud of when it was all over and said and done?
I would have to say Thailand was just like the most amazing thing that I've done because you're so immersed in the culture.
Yep.
And like every aspect of it. You know, I was cutting weight there. I was representing my country. Just having Thai trainers that didn't speak much English, and then like wonderful people like gave me presents. They like put my pictures on like a plaque and gave it to me. And you know, I really got acknowledged for everything I ever did. I even got my own day in Vegas when I came back to America. It just was such a good adventure.
Yeah. And now, obviously, everyone in the family is fighting except the little one.
Yeah.
Probably going to happen too.
She might be the best.
Yeah. Usually the youngest ones are, we've found in my family.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
That's funny. Because you're spoiled, baby.
Exactly. It's perfect. Now, seeing Wayne fight over the years, and you obviously have the kids fighting, how's it watching your family fight, your husband, your kids? Obviously, initially when you started seeing Wayne, he was your boyfriend as a fighter, and now he's your husband, the fighter of your kids. How's it watching him fight? How's it watching when potentially he can get hurt? How do you manage that? Has it changed how you feel about the way you see him fighting over the years?
Yeah, well, for Wayne, it's always hard because, it's your husband and you just always want them to be successful. And if they lose, you got to deal with the losses, when they come home. If they win, you get to deal with the highs.
Yeah.
And, I think fighting's just a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you win an amazing fight and sometimes you lose, and it's an epic fail of knockout or whatever, and people get hurt. And, knock on wood, Wayne's done really well of not getting too injured, but
Yep.
The couple injuries that he did have it was scary.
Yeah.
But I was like, you'll come back, you'll be fine. And he's like, oh, but I'm really hurt. I was like, I've had kids, I know what it feels like to be really hurt and in pain, and I've always had faith in him. And when he retired, I think it was 7 years ago, I wanted to cry. I just thought, man, you got so much more to offer in the sport, and people still love seeing him. He's still
So it wasn't
exciting.
a case of you not wanting him to come back, you were supportive?
I was 100% supportive for him to come back. And plus, he's a great athlete. He loves running. He loves getting his fitness up, and he's just a superior athlete in the sport that he's never lazy. You know, you got those fighters that are lazy, and you got to push. You don't have to push him. He's just he's just ready to go every time.
And with the kids, was it something that they're just around the gym and it was a natural thing for them to get into it, or was it something they asked to be involved? Was it something that you feel like you brought them in? Was it just as a byproduct of being involved with the family?
I'm pretty sure with Jasmine, she wanted to be a fighter, and we said, when you're 8, you can have a fight, because there wasn't the Siam Cups, there wasn't the opportunities for her to fight like there is now. So at 7, we said, wait till you're 8, and then 8 is fine, and then she had a fight. She got a draw her first fight, and then we had to push her a little bit for like 8, 9, and 10. But then after this, like now that she's 15, I don't have to tell her to go run. She wants to go to the gym every day. She's just like my husband, and she's just an athlete, and it's pretty amazing. Where my son, he's a little bit flighty, and he'll train for like 20 minutes, and he's
Isn't that a gymnastics tricks and stuff too, isn't he?
He is, but he quit gymnastics because he didn't like the structure of training 3 hours.
Yeah.
He's got a short attention span, so for him, if I can get him to train like 3 times a week in the Muay Thai, that's a lot for him. And he likes it. He doesn't like losing. That really pisses him off. He gets so emotional, and it was really sad his last fight because he did get stopped, which was, not the way you want to lose. And he was so upset. He was hungry, but he couldn't eat, and he just couldn't talk to anyone. But I brought his last opponent that he fought and beat, and he lost that night too. And I said, hey, Jesse, your friend Oliver's here. And Oliver's like, hey. And he's like, I think I pulled a muscle too. Jesse grabbed his food and started eating because he was with like-minded people. He related. He wasn't the only loser of the night, but it's just like the sport brings a community together, and like you win some, you lose some, but it's how you come back, I think. That is the most important.
And your youngest one's name? Sorry, I forgot.
Gemma.
How old is she now?
She's 3, gonna be 4.
Is she running around the gym?
She does kids class some days, and she likes to fight Jesse, and she's on the scooter outside, so she's also got that mobility. I have a trampoline, and she's jumping up the wall like my son at 3.5, like almost 4, and then dives off of it and then rolls, and I'm like having heart attacks. It's scary. So I think she's very similar to Jessie. They're both the same horoscope. I don't know if you believe in it, but I kind of a little bit. They're Taurus, they're stubborn, but they're also very athletic, and they are you a Taurus too?
No, I'm Aquarius.
Aquarius. Jazzy's an Aquarius.
Oh, that's why
I think that's a beautiful sign. And I think Gemma's going to be a lot like Jessie, but I think she might be a little bit more focused when it comes to training than Jessie, because Jessie never trained as good as Gemma does.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, at 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the fighters at the gym, is it a thing where you train more of the female fighters and Wayne takes more of the male fighters, or it's just everyone?
At the moment, just Wayne's focusing on himself.
Yep.
So he's there, and he'll just come out every now and again.
Just photoshopping memes all day.
Yeah. He'll just come out and he'll say, you need to do this, you need to do that. And whereas I have the trainers that have been with me like 10 years, and they know the system. They train the boys. They'll train the girls as well. Very rarely I have to do a whole camp with a girl. Mostly they're with the guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Jasmine doesn't like doing pads with me.
Oh, really?
She gets so frustrated, and we laugh at each other.
She's at that daughter mother age of like 15, 16.
I didn't like pads with Wayne very much either, so I think that the relationship, it's better having an outside trainer.
Yeah.
So, but she'll listen to us.
Yeah.
She definitely listens. We just don't mix well.
No. Who outside of the kids? Who's? I've got my favorite that's kind of involved with Bunchu, but Lockie.
Yeah.
my little crush. Who has out of the gym that's coming out that other than like Benny, who's everybody knows? Who else is coming out that should all be keeping an eye on?
Well, we have had heaps of fighters that have been really good. You know, we've had the Thor, the Flip. Oh man, we have Jun Lee, who's been with us for a long time. He's had
Legend
30
of a
fights.
guy, yeah.
He's such a nicest guy, honestly. He's the nicest guy. He's teaching Muay Thai full time out of the gym, my gym and my friend's gym, and it's fantastic. We have a new guy named Daza. He's Korean. You know, the girls Jada, Nat, Jazzy. I can't wait for Jazzy to turn 18 because honestly, I think she's some. I know she's my kid, but I think she's something special.
Yeah.
So Brandon, one of our little guys, he's gone to Thailand. Anthony Pappas has been with me since he was 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
He's been with me a long time. The only thing is just he's got so much experience as a kid. We need to get him that experience as a man and just get
Yeah,
him.
because he's racking up with 20-something
Yeah.
fights, and they want to match him with someone who's had 20 fights as an adult, not as a junior. Yeah.
And he's just turning 21, so like it's that one's a hard one, but he has the best technique in the gym. Ross Pearson, a UFC fighter, came to our gym and I said, go with Anthony, he's the best. You know, Benny's gone to boxing, which is sad, but
Very sad.
but you know, that's fine. And I think you know the
Does
young,
he still train with you guys?
yeah,
for box?
he's still boxing with us.
Yeah.
I think the young guns are, you know, they're pretty special. I think they just need to get that experience,
Yeah.
and then they'll blossom a little bit more.
Yeah. So how many years have you been in Queensland now?
So I've been in Australia 16 years.
Okay. In the last 16 years, have you seen that sort of the environment in Queensland change with the fight shows? Obviously there was Evo, which was huge, and then Evo's gone away and there's lots of shows now and lots of different sanctions and things happening, a lot more gyms.
Yeah, there is so many gyms. Like I'll train somebody for a couple years and then they'll go off and they'll open their own gym. And there is so many gyms, but they're still the dominant ones that have been established for a while, and they probably have the most fighters coming through. But there's still heaps of fighters coming through, which is great in the sport. And I think Queensland Muay Thai is in good hands. Like if we could get more fans, that's all we need. Like I just had a lady come from my Facebook, and she's come and seen Wayne's fight, but she's come to see like Jasmine fight and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So if we can get more fans coming to the fight shows, then everybody is making more money. You know,
Yeah.
the fighters make more money, the promoters make more money, and you know, everybody keeps putting up their price and rent and, you know, DJ and lighting and everything. You know, we need to evolve as fans too,
Yeah.
and get more people, and then we'll be really good.
Yeah. So we'll touch on the topic that's been on Facebook the last few days that we keep joking around about. And it's an interesting one because there is like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Melbourne scene and some of the other places, there is people who have modified Thai titles. So, not just their first couple of times, but they might have an Australian Mod Thai title. And there's obviously K1 and there's different K1 and there's kickboxing. So one of the topics that Andrew Parnham from Sydney put on was, you know, and it was from Kieran from Phoenix, was if you're going to fight Muay Thai, just fight Muay Thai, because there isn't, like, you don't fight modified boxing, right? So,
Yeah.
and that was the point, and you had some good points. And
Yeah.
what's your feeling on that?
I just have to disagree a little bit that it's not black and white. You know, fighting, you go through all different levels and stages, and okay, I get it. You don't want to have a Muay Thai champion because it's not a legitimate title, but I didn't know any better, and I had a Muay Thai title in America 20 years ago. Like it's just you just kind of get into different levels. Like I think if I went straight into full Thai rules with elbows and no pads, that would be scary.
Yeah.
But you got the padded, which is fine. You know, that's where I started. So no knees to the head, padded, and then there was no elbows then, and then I went to the next level of fighting no shin pads,
Yeah.
no knees to the head yet, and then I went to the level of fighting with elbows and knees to the head. So I kind of gradually went there, and for me, I was successful.
Yeah,
that
and I
way.
think one of those things is like, we always compare everything to the way the Thais do it. And it's,
Yeah.
I think being a 19-year-old
But we're not
fight,
Thai.
yeah, and being a 19-year-old having your first fight where it's not padded in elbows, and being a 6-year-old where you're not really getting knocked card and
My
stuff.
kids didn't even get bruises.
Yeah.
Jasmine's first bruise was the fight before, and she got knocked out on her 19th fight.
Yeah.
That was the first time she ever had a bruise on her face.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's like that build up through age for the Thais is different.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, it's like you can have your
You
fifth
get used
fight.
to it, yeah.
And it's, I say this to some of my Thai trainers sometimes, it's like take an Australian and a Thai person that have never done Muay Thai before and never seen it before and train them up. Just because they're Thai doesn't mean they're gonna be a better fighter. And I think sometimes people always compare that's the way the Thais do it. And it's like the Thais have a different system. They've got a pool of millions of people and starting at a very early age, and then we see the peak guys coming out of that bigger base as opposed to here where we get 20 people at our gym and 4 of them are going to turn out to be fighters.
Yeah.
So,
But then also too that they're scoring by kicks and knees, whereas we don't score it like that because they're betting on those fights and they're betting on they're gonna punch, but it's not gonna score. So why are they gonna punch? They're better off kicking and getting the crowd excited and they're betting on it. It's too hard to compare. We're not Thai, but we love Thailand. We love Thai culture. We love Muay Thai. But I just think for us, it's just better if we start out a little bit slower and gradually add things to it. That's just the way I think. I can't say it's black and white. Nope, we should do it full Thai. I just can't. I can't agree with that because I've been doing promotions and some people are afraid to get kneed in the head. They just got their nose surgery or they want to get in the ring, they want to have a go, and they want to do it safely.
Yeah, I mean the scoring thing, like it'll be great to have a universal sport that is understood everywhere, and I think if we can find a way to score the Thai style but without the influence of the gambling, because I think the struggle when people say everything scores the same, it's like, well, a jab can't score the same as a knee. That part of it's always going to be hard, but I think that finding ways to progress it and take the whole Thais do it this way, because like people always say to me, it's Thai style, we don't do strength and conditioning. It's like, well, the Thais are doing strength and conditioning now. The Thais that you met 20 years ago weren't doing strength and conditioning, but a lot of the leading gyms now are doing strength and conditioning. They do strength work and stuff, and it's not, just because it was that.
Yeah, but the Thais do like dumbbells that they make with concrete, 2 pieces things, and they're just doing bicep curls
compared to training.
Compared to doing CrossFit training where you're so sore for 3 days that you can't even do your roundhouse kicks on the bag. So for us, that's not suitable training because we want to get our multiple kicks, and that's why Thais don't train like that. But I do think that everything evolved, and I did put strength training into my retirement, like my last few years of fighting. I did do strength training once a week, but I would never do as much training that would sacrifice my Muay Thai
Take your training volume away from actual what you're meant to be doing.
And I was never a muscle-y fighter. And Wayne, I try to get John Wayne to do weights, and he's like, no, I don't want to be sore. I rather run 12 Ks, have my cardio fantastic, and I get lean muscle, and I fight as light as I can. So, with fighting, it's not all about muscle. It's about technique. And you want to fight as light as you can because the bigger they are, the harder they hit.
Yeah.
So.
You've obviously watched Wayne's last fight on Bellator.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I haven't watched the high definition.
Yeah.
I watched from very far away. I saw Wayne throwing his left kick like a jab.
Yeah.
And I just think the guy maybe was a little bit looking like the aggressor, and maybe Wayne got off balance a little bit, so that's why they scored it towards the other guy. But I just seen a little highlight, and it's like Wayne was tagging him, and Wayne's gloves were up. And he checked the kick.
Yeah.
But then, you'll have people saying, oh, if you check a kick but you lose balance, it still scores. It's like, just because you're throwing it shouldn't mean it scores. If you're checking, it does not score to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought the T-shirt jinxed it. When you put the T-shirt up, I was like, oh, please don't do that. That's killing me.
It's killing me too. I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched. And I've always been really superstitious and funny about, I don't know how Ronda Rousey and all those fighters be like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to win this fight. I could never say that. Yeah. If you don't, you look like the biggest idiot. But honestly, he takes the Mickey out of himself with that picture that his mouth open.
Gold.
And if you can have that sense of humor in life, like you can get through anything, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like the amount of memes that have come up over the last few days, and even the couple of times he's come here and commented for me, it's just like he's non-stop with the gags and the jokes, and he takes it, and like he came here at a weigh-in and he went and introduced himself to the guys helping out to get shorts for the fighter, and I said to him, you know, people who are around Muay Thai and are helping out at a Muay Thai show know who you are. It's like, oh, just, you know.
Yeah, he's very
Wayne
modest.
Parr, yeah.
He's very modest and he's very humble, and anyone who says that he's not are not humble and not modest.
Yeah.
You know, he is. He's always been like that. He's a gentleman, and he's a good man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been married for, what, 17 years
16
now?
years.
16
I still love him. But I celebrated his 99th win because I thought that was pretty amazing. And I wouldn't have made those shirts until after he won.
I agree. I say I'm not superstitious, but then when stuff like that happens, I go, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. What have you got coming up next that people should keep an eye out for?
We have a show May 26th, so it's a JWP amateur show. It's Tomorrow's Champions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have lots of fighters on that one. That's going to be pretty exciting. I know there's a couple girls fighting, which I'm really excited about. NTG girl versus my girl Nat, who's fighting at Nok-Soo this weekend. And then we also have a young up-and-coming Queensland girl who's amazing. She is fighting... She's from Matrix Gym, and oh my God, I can't remember her name. That's not bad.
Smith. Georgia
yes,
Smith? Yeah.
Yes. Georgia Smith is amazing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
She's so good, talented technique. She's Matrix Gym, and she's fighting Demi McNamara, who fought on CMT.
Yep.
This is kind of, you know, the John Wayne, the older fighter versus the young gun. So we're going to see what happens there. They're fighting full Thai rules. And then I'm just working on Jasmine getting a fight, hopefully, for a WBC junior title.
Awesome.
I'm working on that.
Yep.
Should be okay, hopefully. I shouldn't count my chickens before they're hatched.
Get a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to get a t-shirt. And John Wayne's got some stuff happening on this show in Australia. It's pretty famous in Melbourne. What is it called?
Oh, no.
So Wayne hopes to fight on Roots one day.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can...
Does he like reggae?
Yeah, if you could ever get him on with us little shows, no. No, he's still got stuff.
Yep.
People still want him worldwide, and his seminars are amazing. So there is
Yeah,
a
I've
lot.
done two, and they are, because he's got a... It's not you go in and everyone teaches you the same two things, and he's got his own way of punching and his own way of kneeing and his own way of countering, and it's his style. It's not cliche, and it's really good.
Yeah, so his seminars are very good, like wherever he goes, because we take our Bunchu shorts, you know, our t-shirts, our Bunchu t-shirts, and people love them because it's kind of like Fairtex. It's its own brand itself.
Yeah.
Bunchu means blessed by the gods, and it's been very good for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angie. I know you got a
Thank
lot
you
on
so
today. Really
much.
appreciate you coming down, and hopefully you'll be at Rebellion soon, and I'll come to
Yes.
CMT because I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Love to
luck
have you.
tomorrow night, and
Okay.
thanks again.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Is that okay?
No, I didn't record any of that.